Have a pleasant day to each and every one of you. My name is Mark Lester J. Tanguan and I am your today's presenter. Welcome to FSM103 Basic Baking, and today we will going to deal about the biscuits. So we have to be very ready for this because this is a very tasty topic, and I'm sure we were being full after this thorough discussions. So this presentation was prepared by yours truly, Mr. Mark Lester J. Tanguan. So to begin with, let's take a look at a little bit introduction about the biscuits. So biscuit is one of the most important snack terms used in our average household. We cannot think of tea without biscuits, obviously. A normal morning or afternoon tea is generally accompanied by plain biscuits, whereas a high tea, such as formal tea party, would include fancy biscuits like cream crackers, coconut cookies, and etc. A lot of different varieties of biscuits are being produced by large-scale manufacturers with automatic plants, where biscuits are packaged and distributed within a short time of leaving the oven. But even in this era of large-scale production, some special varieties of biscuits are still produced by small bakers. The finer points of making delicious biscuits at home are discussed in here. So what is a biscuit? So biscuit is a term used in New Zealand and Australia, UK, and South Africa to describe a baked product that has a cereal base, such as wheat, oat, or barley of at least 60% and a low moisture content of 1 to 5%, excluding any moisture from fillings or icings. So now you know what is the nature or what are the content inside the biscuit. So it is usually has a higher fat content than other baked products, a longer shelf life, and a higher energy density. So do you guys observe that biscuits have a higher shelf life and higher energy density? Because even though you did not care about that biscuits, and by the time you peeled that off, you can really observe that there's nothing going on with that biscuit because, as it said here, it has a longer shelf life. So in America, the term used for this product is cookie, while biscuit refers to a living bread-like product that is similar to UK scone. So in this sheet, the term biscuit refers to the New Zealand definition. So this definition are referred to the New Zealand thoughts. So we have here the different classifications of biscuits. So the taste and crispness of a biscuit depends as the raw material used, the methods of making. So depending upon these two factors, we can broadly divide the biscuits into the following categories. Biscuits made from. So later on we will discuss and we will break down what are the biscuits made from: pastry dough. We have here the cream dough, the egg white mixture, whisk egg dough, dough rich in honey and other sugar syrups. So we will know later on. So let us start first with the this definition, because this is way very relevant in connection to the different types of or the different classifications of the biscuits. So in the UK, biscuits are separated into this made from hard dough. So hard dough, talking about that, it refers that it is similar to bread dough with a stiff consistency. The gluten network is well developed during mixing, so it is an elastic and extensible dough. So do you guys know what is an elastic? So it is some kind of a rubber band. You can compare to that because no, I don't have any example here, but you can imagine what is an elastic mixing during the mixing or the process of making of the particular biscuits. Number 2, we have here the classified short dough. So this is more closely related to cake dough, although with much less water. The name refers to their high levels of shortening or fat in relation to the flour content. So in the US, biscuits are classified based on their natural method of processing, especially of in their way in which they are shaped with it in main categories. So shaping it with the main categories, we have here the different list of main categories. Number one is sheeting or cutting. So it is also called as a machine dough. So this method is particularly for hard dough, where it is passed through a series of rollers to obtain the desired thickness. Second one, we have here the rotary molding. So this method is used for short dough and requires a dough with a relatively stiff consistency that is not sticky. And the third one, wire cutting. So short dough is extruded through a die and sliced with a tight wire at appropriate intervals. So the pressure placed on the dough in the extruder and the thickness of the wire vary dependent on the dough properties. And number four, depositing. So this is a kind of method where the soft dough is shaped by depositing due to its semi-fluid consistency and lack of cohesiveness. So the dough is extruded through a nozzle and dropped onto a baking sheet. So I believe that you guys are all aware of this, since I expected that you've researched about this main categories of methods. So starting from biscuits made from pastry dough. So this is very delicious, and I bet you need to listen to this. So biscuits made from pastry dough. We can make both sweet and savory biscuits made from this dough. So two basic pastry dough can be used for making biscuits: short crust dough and puff dough. So we are going to learn the making of short crust dough in this chapter. So puff dough, which requires a lot of skill and finesse. So will be discussed later in a detailed chapter on these various pastries. So the short crust dough, this is basically consists of flour, fat, and moistening liquid. Flour provides the bulk and fat contributes tenderness or shortness to the biscuit, sugar, and egg. So if included in the recipes, produce richer products such as the sweeter and better based. So these are the examples of the biscuits made from pastry dough. So I am not the one to discuss it very deeper, because I believe that you know what are the pastry dough and you know what are the possible ingredients for that particular recipe. So I bet that you know already of this. So we have here the example. Just take a look at this. So moving on to the next classification, we have here the biscuits made from cream dough. So this is very tasty. I believe that you tasted this kind of biscuits or this kind of dough made out of this kind of mixture. So creaming is the process of beating together butter and sugar so that air bubbles are forced into the batter. So the aerated mixture is then moistened with eggs. Finally, flour is added to make the dough. This cream dough is very versatile, and this is starting point for more biscuits than any other dough. So you have to remember all of this, that these biscuits are made from cream dough. So to obtain and to reach our goal to have a cream dough, you have to follow all of these ingredients and how to mix it together in order to have a biscuits made from this particular dough. So cream dough provides many opportunities for imaginative shaping. It can be firm enough to be rolled out and cut with a biscuit cutter into various attractive shapes like circles, hearts, diamonds, squares, and etc. So lastly, we use biscuit cutters for getting these basic shapes. A less firm dough can be simply dropped from a spoon to produce chunky, irregular shapes. So this is the example of the biscuits made from the cream dough. As what you have seen, it is very tasty. It really is. Next, we have here biscuits made with egg white mixtures. So I believe that this is very familiar to us. And I believe we all saw what are the process or what is the process of making this kind of biscuits using the egg white mixtures. Biscuits made from egg white mixtures are light in texture, such as macarons. Do you know what macarons is? Oh yes, I bet you know. So when egg whites are lightly beaten in, it becomes a loose biscuits. So 23 foams which can be used to bind in any dry ingredients. Nuts are often used as the basis of such mixtures, replacing the flour that provides the body of most biscuits dough. So a blend of nuts and sugar moistened the sufficient egg white to form a batter. Will produce a crisp, light macarons. These biscuits have a deliciously chewy texture. So by the help of the nuts and sugar, it helped the dough to moisten with sufficient egg white. So that is the beginning of the biscuits made from this particular mixture or the egg white mixture. So next we have here biscuits made from whisked egg dough. So a while ago we've discussed the egg white mixture and later on, and now we will discuss about the whisked egg dough. So talking about whisked egg dough, so it is obviously that the egg was already whisked or mixed already, and it is ready to mix together alongside with the other ingredients to make this kind of biscuits under this classification. So biscuits made from whisked egg dough. We made the biscuits from egg white mixtures by using only the whites from the eggs. You have to remember that, sugar and nuts, whereas whisked egg dough biscuits contain whole eggs, sugar, and flour. So that's the difference between the two. Fats are optional. The quantity of flour to be added varies from recipe to recipe. By lowering the amount of flour, you can make light biscuits that rise during baking, while recipes requiring a higher proportion of flour give comparatively harder biscuits. Flavorings like lemon or orange rind, aniseeds, flavored liquor, or spices like cinnamon can be added to the dough. Biscuits made from this dough have a slightly rising surface due to the expansion of entrapped air in the dough while baking. So, they appear slightly sun-shaped. This domed surface is a characteristic feature of this biscuit. So I believe that you understand what is a whisked egg dough. What are the difference between the whisked egg dough and the white or the egg white mixture? So we have here the different ingredients that we need to follow in order to obtain this kind of biscuits classification. And next we have here biscuits made from syrup and honey dough. So I think this is the last one. In this case, syrups are thick. Did you guys see the syrup already? Did you guys see a syrup already? So syrup is just like a liquid mixture, and it tastes very, very sweet. Or sometimes bakers or other manufacturers use honeybee. So moving on, sweet liquids like honey, treacle, and molasses. We have discussed these syrups in our first chapter on bakery ingredients or raw materials, obviously. These syrups provide extra sweetness, a warm brown color, and a distinctive flavor to the biscuits. In this dough, we can also use brown sugar and certain spices like ginger, nutmeg, cinnamon, cardamom, etc. to get richer biscuits. A little bicarbonate of soda is sifted along with the flour. It produces bubbles of carbon dioxide and raises the dough, thus lightening the texture of biscuits. So that will help to lighten the texture of the biscuits by the help of the soda. So I believe that these are the following biscuits that made out from the honey dough or from syrup liquid. So I believe that is very tasty, and you need to taste it yourself. So as for the conclusion of this topic, biscuit is a term used in New Zealand and Australia, UK, and South Africa to describe a baked product that has a cereal base such as wheat, oat, or barley of at least 60% and a low moisture content of 1 to 5%, including any moisture from fillings or icings. Based on what we discussed, there are classifications of biscuits highlighted in here. It was divided into 5 types, which is the pastry dough, cream dough, egg white mixture, whisk egg dough rich in honey, and other sugar syrups. I believe it was classified the way these biscuits was prepared and preserved. Biscuits is a very simple food we have, but it takes a long run too before it was thoroughly formed. We have to bear in mind that making these delicacies such as this may take times. That is why we have to put value in it. So those are the following biscuits that I've discussed, and those are the nature of biscuits, the meaning of biscuits, and where are the biscuits originated from. So thank you guys for listening to me. Thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for spending your time to me. And I hope that you've learned something out from this discussion. I hope you've get all my points, and I hope that you've learned something out from it, and you've get a lot of realizations out from this topic. So I hope that you guys have a good day. Please do take care of yourselves. Have a good day, and God bless you all. Thank you guys so much. Thank you once again. Goodbye everyone. Take care of yourselves. Thank you.